So welcome everyone to our monthly meeting for PWN Norway in April. If you do not know, our speaker tonight is Karense, and she is going to talk to us about the challenges and rewards of entrepreneurship. We have a lot of entrepreneurs in our membership base. We have a lot of people who are thinking about becoming entrepreneurs. So tonight, Karense is going to share her insights and takeaways over making that pivot. She has a background in teaching, and we're looking forward to hearing from her. For those of you who don't already know this, PWN Norway is a part of PWN Global, and it is a global movement of people working towards gender-balanced leadership through professional development and international cross-industry online and in-person networking. Part of that is our monthly event series. We have also become part of the global PWN Norway mentoring program this year under the leadership of Aditi, who is with us tonight. And that is PWN Norway. Usually we have Eva here, our president, to give a few words, but she's not able to join us tonight, so she sends her best wishes and regards. I'm now going to turn the floor over to our wonderful speaker, Karense Foslien, and take it away.
Hi, everyone. Hi, Holman. Can you hear me all right?
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm going to just start sharing my screen then. I'm going to present also, of course, but let's hope that other people will also be able to join as we move along. Edie, you need to make me a co-host.
Will do.
Thanks.
Great. You were co-host previously, but I didn't do it after we restarted. So there you go.
So today I'm going to talk about the challenges and rewards of entrepreneurship. Before I start that, just a brief presentation about me. My name is Karense Foslien. I'm 36 years old and I live in Oslo, based in Oslo. And I'm a teacher of profession. And I run an online school and a YouTube channel. Some of you have probably seen me on YouTube if you're learning Norwegian. And today I'm going to talk about how it is to be an entrepreneur, my journey, the challenges that I've faced. I hope to give you some inspiration and maybe some new ideas on if some of you are considering starting a business, or if you already have a business, things that you could do to try to, get your business up and going or growing. Yeah. And if you have any questions or comments along the way, it would be nice if you just tell Edie, and then Edie will just tell me, right, if there's a question coming, so I can just reply to that question as we move along. So don't be afraid to ask anything. Yeah. So let's see. This is me today with all my channels. I'm going to talk about them and how I've developed this. But I started in 2015. That's when I started my company, Enkeltmannsforetak, which is, I don't know what that is in English, really. Do you even have that word in English? Well, it's just like a simple business. And then I've used social media to develop my business. And today it has grown and it's growing. So I think it has helped me. The YouTube channel has definitely helped me in marketing and kind of reaching out to a lot of people. But it's, yeah, I'm going to talk about my journey and how I came to this, where I'm at right now. Okay, let me see. So a bit about my background. I studied English at UBC in Vancouver, Canada. I don't know if there's anyone here who's from Canada or who studied there, maybe. Well, I studied English there first, and then I came back to Norway, and then I did a bit of substitute teaching, and I realized that I really like teaching. So I decided to do a degree in teaching at Høgskolen in Oslo, now called Oslo Met. A university college. And then I specialized in Norwegian as a second language, social studies and English. but I do work mostly with when it comes to Norwegian today, the language. I've been teaching for more than 15 years. I was teaching while I studied as well, and I had many jobs at the same time as I studied. So I gained a lot of different experience during that time. I've been teaching online for 10 years. So when the Corona came, it was very easy for me and for the school, the teachers that I have at the school, because we were ready, because that's what we do. We teach online. And I've been working as a teacher also in the public school, elementary school, junior high, high school, and also in the voksenopplæring, adult learning center, as well as different private schools where I've been teaching Norwegian. I started at Berlitz when I was a student. It's a long time ago, but yeah, I have different teaching experience. Let me just see now if I can see the chat. So if any question comes up, it would be nice if you, Edie, just let me know, because I see it might be a bit difficult for me to look at everything at once.
Of course, yes.
My journey becoming a teacher was not something that I wanted to become. I decided that I do not want to be a hairdresser, because my mom was a hairdresser, and I did not want to be a teacher. But all of a sudden, I came into teaching as a substitute teacher, and then I really liked it. So I decided to become a teacher after all. And I've been doing a lot of different things. You see me here teaching a class Norwegian in a little bit different method. In this picture we're in like role play kind of thing, where I'm actually a princess in that class. And all the students have different characters, and they make up their own role. They like they have a Norwegian name, and they make up their own job and family and all that. So everything is like fantasy, and they learn very fast in this method. So it's a fun method called suggestopedi, if any of you have heard about it. But I've been doing a lot of different things, and I think that's kind of what has made me into who I am today, with different experiences. I've been working voluntarily a lot, so teaching kids in different ways, and also ran a project in Zanzibar in East Africa some years ago. I've been teaching adults in different, both public schools and also private schools. I do online teaching, and I was dreaming of having my own school. So I looked at all the different schools and what they were doing, and I saw that, well, they're doing things that are good, things that I like, but there are also some things that I would prefer to change if I could. So then I thought, why can't I create my own school? I think I can do that. Well, I'm a teacher after all, and I think I know a few things about teaching, but I didn't really know so much about how to run a school. So that was something to learn, and I'm still learning. And then having my first employee, it's that step when you take the step of deciding to get someone who is working for you. I think it's a big step. It was strange, but it was the first person that I hired was someone to help me with administration, because I was doing all the admin on all the teaching and everything myself, and then I kind of needed someone to help me with that. So I think it was just coming to the realization that I actually need that. So that was the first employee, and she was hired in 2016, I think. And then it's also been, interesting and challenging to getting to know the systems, like how is the system for a company in Norway, the tax returns, the laws, the regulations. There's so many things, even as a Norwegian, it's difficult, and like I felt that, this is something that I don't know enough about this. I would like to learn more, but who do I turn to? Who can I ask? Because a lot of my friends were also very skeptical, and I think it's a little bit in the Norwegian nature to be skeptical. Well, I'm speaking on my behalf, but I think also a few other Norwegians might be skeptical. So I was a bit like afraid to let go and just totally dive into it and hope that it would be all right. So I was working 70% like full time at the school, and then first I started like 100% there, and then I said to to the principal, I asked if I could please just work a little bit less. So I had 1 day a week that I was, working with my company. So it was just slowly to try to, let go. And I think it was just the feeling of trying to dare to do it. I think it's a big step. So if any of you here, you're thinking about doing something like that, it could be a good alternative, at least as a transition between, working somewhere and then getting into your own business and doing only that. Could be a nice way to kind of, do both at one time. And then if you're allowed to by your employer, and then once you're ready, then to let go and to be completely, to working by yourself in that way. So I've been working full time in my company, which is called Note Norwegian Teaching. I mean, Note stands for Norwegian Teaching, since August 2019. So it's coming to 2 years this August. So first, as I said, I started in 2015, the company called Note Norwegian Teaching without the AS, because that means that when you have a company like that, enkeltmannsforetak in Norway, it means that, it's connected to you as a person, right? So the company is me in a way. So everything that I earn on this company, it goes to my tax return personally. Which is all right if you start, you need to start somewhere, right? So it's okay in the beginning, but then as the company grows, it's nice to have this as a AS, the aksjeselskap, the second one that I started in 2017, because it means that I am separated from the company. We're not one, which is also good if with regards to insurance, or if you become ill or something like that, it's better to have them separated. But then at that time I needed 30,000. I think it's still like that, and I didn't have 30,000 to put in to have like as a start. What can I say? An amount to start off with. I didn't have the 30,000, so I needed to wait. Because, you have your expenses and costs and everything. So you can't just, have 30,000 to spend for that. So it took me some time to save the money. And then I think in Norway, I think personally, it's quite easy to run a company in Norway if you have the right ideas, and if you, because the market here is quite open, and people, the way I see it is that people are not so competitive here. That's the way that I see it. I mean, it depends on, of course, what you're doing. But I think since we're very few people and there are a lot of opportunities, you can get, funding, even from the government sometimes, from Innovasjon Norge, you can get a lot of help. So I think if you have the right ideas and you have a plan and what you want to do, I think it's definitely possible to be successful having your own company in Norway. I think it's more difficult in other countries where there are so many companies and so many people, and it's a tough market. So what I think is important also is to look for if there's any documentation that you need, anything that can strengthen your company to make the company more, trustworthy or solid in any way. So I got my approval from UDI, which is of course important to us, and then from Karense Norway, the ones who are running the Norwegian exams. Maybe some of you have taken them. So we got this approval that our school is approved by UDI and Karense Norway, which was very important to us because it means that when students study at our school, they get approved hours if they're going to apply for permanent residency or citizenship in Norway. So that was important to us. Now the rules have changed, I think, because now they also accept to take the exam and try to pass it in A2 level, the written exam and the oral exam. Then you don't need the hours, right? But some people, they are a bit afraid to kind of gamble, so they just take the hours to make sure that they have done everything when they want to apply for their permanent residency. I started in 2015 with just me. And today, 6 years later, we have 40 teachers and around 600 students. So we have grown, but we've grown slowly. that's also another advice that I have is, to try to, it's better to grow slowly, little by little, and to have control rather than just, having this boom and then you don't know what to do with it. And then the quality is poor because you can't follow up. So I at least for me, it felt better. It felt good to be, to make the company grow at the pace that I could follow up and give quality all the way. Today we have courses for NAV and Kommune, the municipalities around Norway. And we have different courses like Norwegian courses, English courses, job seeking courses, social studies and all that. So we try to come up with new ideas all the time. And, some people tell me, well, why are you not teaching? Why don't you have a school? Why don't you teach in the classroom, before COVID and all that? And then I said, well, everyone is doing that. So why don't we just try to be really good at online teaching and be, be in the lead with that rather than doing what everyone is doing. So I try to, I think it's better to be specialized within something and to do it really, properly. And I think also if you have something that works, it's always nice with new ideas. You can add that. But if you have something that works, a product or something that you do in your company that is working, then it's nice to keep it, So I think sometimes I'm thinking, well, I should make some changes and I should do this and that and this and that. And then I think, well, you know what, actually this works and the students like it and the teachers also like it. So why don't we just let it be? It's all right for everyone. Yeah. Am I speaking too fast or is it all right? Any people?
Everything is perfect, Karense. Thank you so much. It's really intriguing.
Okay, good. So for me, the social media has been very important. The way that I started, like first I had my school, right? But I didn't have many students. I didn't have many bookings. People didn't know about me. And I thought to myself, well, how can I, because I have all this teaching experience. I've been teaching Norwegian for many years. I get the same questions all the time from our students. So how can I kind of, do something different so that I don't have to explain to one person at the time all the time. But I'd rather want them to get an explanation that they can watch over and over again. And then they can ask me if they still don't understand the grammar or whatever it might be. So I started to make videos in English, actually. The first videos are in English. And I was very shy and it was very embarrassing. And my very first two videos were in black and white because I felt like, my makeup was not all right. And then people told me that, you know what, you need colors. So I said, okay. And I was making the videos at my loft at home. I didn't have the proper equipment. I didn't know anything about, filming or how to do all these things, the technical things. It's just like the recent year maybe that I really got better equipment. So I kept the format very simple all the time. But what I knew is that, well, okay, I might not be a professional filmmaker, but I am a professional teacher and my explanations are professional because this is what I do. This is my profession. So I was confident in that. And I knew that, the format is not very professional and it will never be because I'm not so interested in that, but I'm interested in teaching. And I think that's part of the success is that I keep my videos very simple. They're not made up. They're not, I don't have it's not glamorous. It's very simple. And I think that speaks to people. that's, I think it's real. I think people like things that are real. And sometimes I might make a mistake saying something, that is not right. And then I correct myself in that video and I just let it be instead of editing. I don't ever edit anything. I didn't even know how to edit and I don't want to learn how to edit. So that's why my videos are the way they are. But they work. I'm close to 80,000 followers. I lack 1,000. So we're up to 80,000 followers. And considering that it's Norwegian that I teach, which is quite, it's not a very broad audience. That I'm based in Norway, it's quite a big channel in Norway. I have 837 videos in Norwegian, and I also have a few in English, the first ones that I made. I started to spread the videos in different Facebook groups. I just, I thought, okay, let me just, spread the word. So I went to Facebook and then I searched for like learn Norwegian. I want to learn Norwegian. I just tried to kind of find the groups that were, would make use of my videos. And in the beginning, I didn't earn anything from YouTube. So it was basically just, it was my contribution to volunteer work in Norway, because I've been volunteering a lot abroad, and I thought, well, why don't I just give back to my community? So that was my contribution. And then, of course, free material is popular. And if you have someone who is a professional teacher, then of course people think that's nice if you can get access to it for free. So people started to spread the videos, and then now they're, now I don't need to do that anymore. But I used to spread my videos in Facebook groups, and I didn't feel like, the reason why I didn't put the advertisements on before I reached 10,000 followers was because I felt a bit bad, like spreading the videos, knowing that I was earning money on them. So I just wanted to spread them just to share. So that's what I did. I started a podcast in the fall of 2017. I'm trying to make an episode every week. So it's around B1 level, little bit advanced if any of you speak Norwegian and you know the levels. And then I have this Facebook group where now we're close to 50,000 members, and teachers and students. So it's very nice. It's actually a nice group. We don't have a lot of online trolls there. It's actually a very good atmosphere. Like, people come there to learn and ask questions about Norwegian. And there are a lot of Norwegians as well, teachers and other Norwegians. They like to help out. So I think it's really nice. It's like a positive fora that people can connect. Then I have Instagram. I tried Snapchat, but that did not work. It was just a catastrophe. I got messages from people, taking a walk outside, someone at the gym. How are you doing today, Karense? It was just totally, I couldn't keep up with it. And it wasn't, it didn't suit my business. It didn't suit what I was doing. So I stopped it. So yeah. The social media channels, what's nice about it, I think, is that you reach a lot of people and it's free marketing. So it's like, I can make a video in YouTube, and then it will reach out to almost 80,000 people, and I don't need to spend money on marketing. So I think for me that's nice, because marketing can be very expensive, at least in the beginning when you're starting a company. Yeah, so social media has helped me a lot. Another thing that has helped me a lot is to say yes, and to be open to new opportunities, challenges that people give me. I've been asked to do a lot of different things in my life, not just business-wise, but also as a person. And I normally always say yes, and then I'm very interested to see where it takes me. Sometimes I might end up, in a place where I didn't think I would be, or I might know people that I didn't know before, and then I get another kind of opportunity through them. Oh, sorry. What happened now? Oops. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Can you still see? Sorry, I lost.
It's not up yet, Karense.
Hold on. I think.
Here we go.
Okay, good. I could just touch by my keyboard here. Yeah. So if you try to say yes to different questions people ask you, or if they said, hey, would you like to join this or that, then it will take you a lot of interesting places. It's the same like that movie Yes Man with Jim Carrey, wasn't it? So I'll just show you a few of the things, like where it has led me. I got a question about, this is from a magazine called Henne, like a woman magazine. I got a question whether I would like to work voluntarily in Zanzibar, starting a project for women there, because I wanted to travel and I wanted to learn Swahili. So I got this kind of, offer. It was volunteer work, but then I thought, well, that would be very interesting. Then I can learn Swahili. I can live in Zanzibar, which is a very nice place to live in. And why not? So all of a sudden, I was living with these women in Zanzibar when we were building like a center for women with chicken and rabbit, and we were having different animals, trying to do some like micro farming because these women were doing seaweed farming, which was not a very good way of making a living for them because it was a very tough job. You can imagine the sun in Zanzibar is very strong. And these women, they can't swim. So they had to go in the daytime, they had to go to their seaweed farms very far out, like 2 kilometers, 3 kilometers out in the water. And then they were growing their seaweed. And then when it was time to harvest, they did that. And then they brought the seaweed back. One bag of seaweed weighed around 50, 60 kilos. And these women, as you can see, they're very small, thin. And then they had to lay the seaweed out to dry it. And when it was dry, it weighed maybe, 10 kilos because it contained a lot of water. So, and they got problems with their eyes because of the strong sun. They had problems with their backs, of course, and the problems giving birth because they had a lot of infections. In general, they had a lot of infections because of the salt water that was sitting there. So my job was to try to help them doing something else, basically. So all of a sudden, I was running this farming project in Zanzibar, and I'm not really a farmer. I'm from the countryside, but I don't know so much about farming. But yeah, it worked out. And they got chicken and egg, and we tried with rabbits, but it didn't work very well because they don't like change that much in this part of the world. They like to do things the way they've always done it. But chicken, that was fine, and eggs, and then they were selling eggs to the hotels, so they kind of changed their way of earning money, which was a relief to them because they didn't have to go so far to get the seaweed and to have that very tiresome job. So it was a nice change for them.
Karense, I'm sorry to interrupt you. We had a question come in right as you started speaking about this, and it sounds like a very rewarding project. But before you continue, can we back it up just one more minute to marketing? We have a question. Is it really free marketing when it takes you time, even if it doesn't cost money?
Well, a good question, but I mean, for me, if I make a video that lasts 3 minutes, for me, I would say it's free. I mean, there's so little of my time that I spend because I don't spend time to make a very professional video. It's just, I just press record, and then I record, and then I talk about whatever offer or something that we have. So it doesn't cost me much in time wise. I do it very quickly. So yeah.
And I guess the only other follow-up question is, how do you decide where to spend time when it comes to this type of marketing?
Well, I try to be consistent. So if I want to have like a campaign, I try to do that in YouTube. Then I also make these, small campaigns, and I do the same campaign in my Facebook group, Instagram, and YouTube. It's the same offer, but I just, different format, maybe like a picture or something in Instagram and then a video on YouTube. But YouTube is definitely the most efficient way for me to market what we do. But I don't put these marketing videos all the time because I feel very lucky to say this, but if I do, we get a lot of orders. So as I said, I want to make sure that we can provide quality all along. So I want to make sure that we have enough teachers, we have the capacity to welcome more students. And then I need to see like where we're at. Are the exams coming up? Then we might be too busy to even run an offer. So we just want to wait because it is very efficient. But I'm very concerned about giving the quality all the time. I don't want to have a lot of new customers and then we can't follow up because that would not benefit anyone.
No. All right. Thank you. Sorry, we don't want to throw you off track. Just wanted to go ahead and guide this question.
Fine. Right. So about saying yes, we're back to saying yes and taking the opportunities. Here I am teaching in Kenya. I did that for a while I was in Zanzibar. So I went to Kenya for a while and I was teaching school kids there. And you see me here also with one of the rabbits from the project. This photo is very, you know, it was taken by a photographer and he came there to take these pictures for this article we had in Henne, that magazine that we have here in Norway. But yeah, this comes from saying yes, you know, these things. Also this, I was asked if I wanted to join, that was many years later, if I wanted to join something called Give a Job, which is like a big, we don't have that right now because of COVID, but it's an event that they've been doing in different cities in Norway. To try to connect people who are applying for jobs and the companies. So it's a full day event with companies and job applicants. And then we invite artists and speakers from that place that we're at. For example, here we were in Bodø. So we had Halvdan Sivertsen, he's a very famous Norwegian artist. All Norwegians know about him. Maybe you heard the song Sommerfugl i Vinterland, Butterfly in Winterland. And then we have Ayman Shakura. Maybe you've heard about him. He's the one who started Charge and a lot of other different companies. He was an immigrant. He came here as a refugee, actually. And then we have Arne Hjeltnes. We have these kind of, you know, famous people. And then I'm here as well. Because, you know, immigrants know me, but they don't know Halvard Sivertsen. They don't know Arne Hjeltnes, but they know me. So it was easy for them. Oh, Karense is coming. Okay, then we will come because she will probably teach us something, or, you know. So I became part of this team as well because I was asked if I wanted to do that. And then it was not something that I got paid for, but it was very nice to take part in this. So we've been to different cities around Norway. Bodø, I've been there twice. Bergen and Lillestrøm, Sarpsborg. Yeah, and then we were supposed to go to have a big one in Oslo, but then COVID came. So, but maybe we'll come back and do it here. I hope so. YouTube, of course, is, you know, that's not about saying yes, but I was invited to something called EduCon last year. And then I thought, you know, well, yes, that would be interesting. So I came there. I was very I didn't know what that was all about, but it was at YouTube Studios in London. So I met a lot of other YouTubers that are, you know, running YouTube channels with educational content. So that was also very interesting to meet those people. Here we are. Well, I had a very short presentation at PWN in Oslo, December 2019, but you also had this annual meeting. So it's just a very nice picture. I don't remember exactly who took it. I should give credits, but yeah. I've been a PWN member since maybe 2012, like that, on and off a bit. But yeah, I really like the organization, and I think it's a really, really good initiative that we have this, and I try to recommend it to as many as possible. So I also became a member because someone asked me if I wanted to join a meeting in 2012, I think, and then I said, yeah, why not? And all of a sudden I was a member, so it was nice. I was asked to do seminars about norskprøve, the exam in Norwegian, and then I thought, well, yeah, why not? So then I had a lot of seminars in Oslo about the B2 exam, the advanced level exam in Norwegian. And it was successful because we had a lot of people who actually managed to pass the B2 exam, which is quite difficult to pass. So that was also very nice. But if I didn't say yes to that, I wouldn't meet all of these nice people, you know, so. And then I've been speaking at different conferences when it comes to learning, digital learning, Norwegian and all that. I've been teaching teachers at different adult learning centers, been asked if I could do like a speech or something for them or a full day program. So then I say, of course, sometimes I'm a bit nervous, like how is it to teach teachers? You know, that's scary because teachers know how to teach. So, but then it's like, well, you know, maybe I know something that they don't know, so we will learn from each other. And I've done a lot of those types of presentations. Here I am in Røros in August last year. Yeah. And I think it's also something that I think it's good as well is to share some personal experiences, personal thoughts. I don't share very private information, but like things that I do, like here, for example, I'm skiing with my dog, or I'm voting, or here I met another YouTuber. She has a very big channel called Learn Arabic with Maha. It's a lot of, I think she has 500,000 followers. But I do see that it's nice to share some, some personal experience, some ideas, to be a bit personal sometimes. I think that's good because it makes it more real, and you're not just someone who's, having this business, but they can actually see through that, you are this person. And I think that's also a plus. Yeah. Any questions? No. Yeah. Okay. And then, of course, COVID came and we had to change totally. So we went from seminars to webinars, and it works well. But of course, I miss the seminars. I miss meeting people like all of us. But it's at least good we can do something online instead of nothing. So it's always like, if someone asked you, could you do this? Would you like to try this or take part in this? I think it's good to say yes, and then see where it takes you, because, well, why not? It can't hurt you. Challenges, there've been a few, and there are still challenges. When I started the company, I had lack of knowledge about how to start and run a company in Norway. Even though I'm Norwegian, I was not taught about, in school, we don't learn about this, at least not when I went to school. It's not something that we're exposed to. It feels scary. And if any of you have been to some of these tax meetings with Skatteetaten, the tax report, tax, what do you call it? It's a bit scary, like it's a bit negative. It's not like, yeah, start a company, that's great, welcome, we want to help you. It's a bit like difficult, like you need to make sure that you have your finances, in order. You need to make sure that you have an accountant, what you're going to do with your tax. It's a bit, I don't think it's so, people are not so open to this in Norway. It's not so common, especially for women, even more so, to start businesses. We do have women who have businesses, of course, but it's not so easy. So I felt a bit scared in the beginning. And then I've also made like different choices than other people in Norway, and I think that's also been a challenge to choose differently. Here in Norway, it's difficult, because here I this is my personal opinion, and my experience is that if you do something that is different from the norm here, especially in Norway, it's like you really stand out, not always as something positive, but maybe as weird, maybe as, you're a bit edgy, or you're doing something that is risky, or, so I felt when I started the company, people were like, oh, okay, you're starting a company. Well, what are you going to do with the finance? What are you going to do with the money? How are you going to, so it was just all of these questions. And then I was also skeptical myself, like, well, what am I going to do with the finance? I don't know. So it's not like people are cheering for you necessarily. It could be like, as a Norwegian, at least from a Norwegian to another Norwegian. So I think to choose something which is considered different in Norway, whether it's the way you live, how you work, how you dress, everything, it's sometimes a bit challenging. That's my personal experience, but I've always just done it. And then I think that, well, if people judge me by that, then they don't know me, and I'm going to stand for it and just go all the way. But sometimes there might be a bit of skepticism. That's how I see it. Being a female founder, of course, it's not, there are most men, I think, that run companies, but I think they're coming more and more women, and I think that's really good. We need more women to have their own companies, to be entrepreneurs, to dare to challenge what's already established. So yeah, I feel that also as a woman, of course I have my experiences just as a teacher, as a student myself, and all that in my school. So I try to use that and try to use my experiences through everything that I've been through, and then try to see if that can help the company and help me and help the employees and the students as well. But it's challenging to be a female founder, definitely, but it's not impossible. Sometimes I don't know who to talk to. I don't know where to ask for advice. Sometimes there might be, it might be difficult to talk to the authorities if I need to do that, or within the Norwegian course sector. I mean, the Norwegian schools, the schools where you can learn Norwegian, it's a lot of competition because there are many of those schools. So it's not like you can ask and collaborate. It's a bit difficult. So everyone is kind of, my experience is that people keep to themselves what they do. So it would be nice if people would be a bit more open and to see that we could collaborate rather than compete all the time. But yeah, taking a chance, sometimes you just have to do it. Sometimes you don't know where it will take you, but it's also trying to just, go for it. I think for me as a Norwegian, it's a bit difficult because we don't have that type of, I would say, it's not so common here to take risks. It's not, we try to be on the safe side all the time. Like a lot of people want to be employed in the government or in the municipality where they live, or because that feels safe, So taking chances, taking risks, it's not something that, at least I didn't grow up with that. So for me, it's been a challenge to kind of just do it sometimes. And it was also a challenge and a milestone when I hired the first person. It was like, okay, now I'm responsible for someone. I have to bring the money in so that that person can get the salary, and that's my responsibility. Am I going to do this? So it was a bit, there have been some steps along the way, crossroads, where I feel that, okay, now I have to make a choice, and I actually have to stand for it, and I have to do this, and it's my responsibility, and yeah, I have to try to see what is the best thing I can do. Responsibilities for having employees, of course, that's something. It's not dangerous, it's not, but of course it demands that the company is up and running and that it's kind of stable. I think it takes time. Being a leader is not, I mean, as a teacher, I'm a leader for my students, but being a leader for other teachers, or boss, we don't like that word in Norway, we call it leader. Of course, it's something that I'm still learning, and but I try to, in Norway, we like to have this, what we call flat structure, that we don't have, the boss on top and the employees at the bottom, this pyramid structure. And I think it works well here. I try to see the teachers as more, we're colleagues in a way, but sometimes I have to make decisions which are mine to make. But it's yeah, I don't see myself as, telling people what to do. I personally don't like that. So I try to give them the freedom so that they can, do what they want. I just trust that, they know what they're doing, and they can manage themselves. And then they will come to me and ask me if there's something that they need assistance with. Negotiating with other companies also sometimes tough, especially when there are companies where the CEO, the owner, is a man. I've experienced several men coming to me, men who have companies within Norwegian courses, and they've been a bit tough, and then I had to kind of toughen up as well, and I had to be, what, no, you can't do that. Like I was asked, someone who asked me, I had a company ask me, you have all these videos on YouTube, and we would like to make a courses based on your YouTube videos, and then you could get a small share of that. And then he was so confident, right? So I was like, oh, wow, you can make courses from my videos. And then I thought to myself, that's not fair. It's my videos. And then I had to be frank with him and say, you know what? No, you can't do that. These are my videos, and you can't just go in and just steal the content and make a course. And then sometimes, I'm surprised by the requests that I might get. So I have to be a bit tough and say, well, I have to be like, like them, you know, tough, like, no, you can't do that, or I'm not going to go for that, or I don't accept. And it's not really in my nature to be like that, but I'm learning. I have a poem here. It's a poem written in nynorsk, which is one of our written forms. I'm going to read it to you in nynorsk, and then I'm going to translate it to you in English. So maybe some of you here know Norwegian. Can you just raise your hand or something if you know Norwegian, or if you, I don't know how many people here who really speak Norwegian. Edie, do you see if anyone is saying that they do speak Norwegian?
Doing it now, I see a lot of hands up.
Okay.
But we do have a few people joining us internationally.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to read it in nynorsk, which I think is so beautiful, with poetry in nynorsk. Sounds more beautiful. And then I'm going to read it in English. I've translated it to English. So it's like this. Dans, dotter mi. Ta på deg røde danseskoa, dotter mi, og dans. La ingen få knebla din sang, eller hemma din draum. Dans, dotter mi, dans. Grip dagen og fyll han med din styrke. Vakker er du. Slå vakt om grensene dine. Vent ikke på å bli valgt av livet. Velg sjølv. So I'm going to read it in English. Dance, my daughter. Put on your red dancing shoes and dance. Let no one destroy your song or limit your dream. Dance, my daughter, dance. Seize the day and fill it with your strength. You are beautiful. Guard your boundaries. Do not wait to be chosen by life. Choose for yourself. So it's just a poem, like, you know, reminding us that we should put on those shoes and we should dance. We need to glow as well. We need to be out there, you know. We need to do the same things that men have been doing for many years, you know. We need to also be out there. These are a few of my teachers. We had a photo shoot here in August. We tried to gather all the teachers, but that was very difficult, so we're just a few of us. But to try to build a trust amongst the employees, first of all, I tried to find the right teachers. So, you know, to see which of them could fit into the group. And then I usually trust my gut feeling. When I do that, I get a feeling of whether this person would, you know, fit into our staff or not. Some people, I can just see it right away. Of course, I have to look at the qualifications, you know, the education, the experience and all that, but it's also who they are as a person. I'm very concerned about giving the proper training in advance so that they feel confident and secure when they are going to teach, because we have private one-on-one tutoring. So we don't have groups, we don't teach in groups, we have like private sessions. So when they're there with a student alone, I want them to feel comfortable and know what they do and what they should do and our procedures and all that, how we do things at the school. I always ask them to, you know, if there's anything that's on your mind, anything that you're concerned about, if you have any questions, I always tell them this a lot. Like, I want them to be always sure that they can come to me, and it's not, you know, it's not such a big distance between us. I want them to know that it's, you know, we call it in Norwegian takhøyde. So it means that it's, you know, you can say what you want. There's what do you call it, a flexibility, or we're open to talk to one another. It's not dangerous to talk to the boss. And then when I make decisions, sometimes I have to make the decisions alone on how we're going to do things. But I also ask them sometimes if they can take part in decisions. I want them to take part, because initially I cannot run the school without them. We're one team. And I want them to be, you know, to feel that they're part of a group rather than just me telling them what to do. I don't like that type of you know, treatment myself. So I try to treat them the way that I would like to be treated. I give them responsibility if they want to do other things, if they have questions, or if they want to take part in something. I always tell them that it's very nice that you join in and you take responsibility, or you are, you can do something that that will, develop a product or something like that. I always welcome them to take part, and I trust that they can work alone. They know what they're doing. They're professional teachers. I don't need to be after them and check everything they do. I just trust them, and I think they also feel that. Because we say in Norwegian that a good boss, you can't notice if a good boss enters the room, right? It's not like the boss is coming now. You're just totally relaxed and you're fine. And I think that's how I want them to, that is when they talk to me, it's like it's a very relaxed environment, and they don't need to be, stressed out. So that's how I build trust, and I do think that we have a very nice team. The team that I have, these are just a few of them. We have 40 teachers, 2 men and 38 women. So we're really powerful there with all our women. But it's also because there are not that many men in when it comes to teaching. So that's why we have so many women, basically, because in the schools also you see that they're mostly women. But I like to have more men, but yeah, here we have mostly women in our school. We have one administrator. We do employ new staff all the time because we're growing all the time. But as I said in the beginning, we're growing slowly. I don't want us to grow so fast, so that we can provide quality all along. Yeah, I want them to be, positive, energetic, and have a good spirit. I try to be like that too. So in that way, we can build a company and keep developing, and with them also sharing and taking part and being part of the company. So it's not just my company, but it's our company. I talk about us all the time, our school. I never talk about my school and my things. It's our school. It's ours. And each of the teachers, they have their own strengths. So I try to utilize them, and I try to, the students that book courses, I try to think about which teacher could fit this student. If I know the student in advance, if I don't, I might look at, for example, where they live in Norway. So if it's someone living in Tromsø, in the north of Norway, and they take a course at the high level, I might give them one of the teachers who speak that northern dialect, right? Because I think that's a strength, so they can learn the same Norwegian that they're exposed to where they live. So that's one of the strengths that we have. I have the YouTube channel, so I welcome you all to follow me there. If you're not following me, I do try to I make videos every week in Norwegian. It's all in Norwegian now, but if you go to Spillelister, you can see that I have some playlists also in English. These are my first videos, so they're very amateur style. And I don't have very good light and all that, but it was the first videos that I made in the beginning. But I do have quite a few of them as well. And the Facebook group as well. Welcome you to join if you want. And podcast, if you're at like B1 level in Norwegian, that's like a medium plus, then you can also listen to the podcast if you want. And Instagram, these are all the channels that I'm at, the platforms. And here's the website. We got a new website last year. And what was really cool is that I asked in the Facebook group, because I wanted to have some information about what we do in different languages. So I thought, okay, let's have like one page in 10 languages, the 10 biggest languages, 10 largest languages. So I got more than 60 requests for different languages. So people wanted to translate. It was like one page about our school. So if you go here to Velg språk, which means choose language, you will find information in more than 60 languages. So that's really cool. We have everything from Arabic to English to French to, I don't know what, Tigrinya, Albanian. We have all kinds of languages. So I think that's cool. Then again, I see the power of, the social media, how powerful it is. Like I come there, ask, 10 languages, and all of a sudden we have 60. So I think that's very cool. The plans that I have for the future now and onwards is we want to create our own language courses that are made by me and the teachers. So we're going to create them together and offer different language courses. So if there anyone here who is a language teacher not in Norwegian, but another language, you can just contact me. It would be nice. I would like to have courses like, French courses, Chinese courses, I don't know, Arabic courses, Finnish courses, all kinds of, that's my dream, to have all these. I love, the international aspect of my job. I think it's really cool. I hope by 2021, by New Year's Eve, I have 100,000 followers in YouTube, and that I have that I can reach video number 1,000 in Norwegian by the end of 2021. I think I will make it, but let's see. And I want to keep helping people to learn Norwegian for free, because that's something I'm really engaged in. The language is, of course, a door opener. It does help you to, move forward with your life in Norway. Although you might work in English, I think it's always good to learn the language and to be able to communicate, at least at the basic level. And if you have kids in Norway, and let's say you speak English at work and you speak another language at home, but the kid goes to barnehage, kindergarten in Norway, then sometimes the children, they start to speak Norwegian to the parents, and the parents don't understand what they're saying. So that's a motivation of its own to try to learn Norwegian, just for them also. But I want to keep learning, teaching Norwegian for free in YouTube. And I want, like, my goal has always been that I want people to become better in Norwegian and to reach a higher level than what they were when they started to watch my videos. I dream of making Norway a more open, diverse society. I think we still have a long way to go. I think that many Norwegians are still a bit close-minded. I'm often told that I'm a different Norwegian because I'm so open, maybe. But I really want people to know that, diversity is beautiful, and we need more diversity here. I want people to understand that to develop Norway, we need people from different backgrounds, different countries and cultures, because otherwise we'll just stagnate. We need diversity here, and I want companies, I want politicians, I want people to know that. So that's my, we call it in Norwegian, hjertesak. It's my heart case. It's something that I really care about. So that's important to me. Yeah, so that's all I had. I hope I'm all right with the timing.
Thank you so much, Karense. We've really appreciated that. I really like the way you ended it, just saying all stakeholders kind of have a role to play. And we do have a couple of questions in the chat, just so you know. We'll wrap it up with the Q&A session before officially thanking you. So the first question, it's from Donna. It says, in terms of legal aspects, what do you recommend with regards to liability insurance, confidentiality, agreements, terms and conditions, etc.?
Well, I think it's good to I mean, it depends on what kind of business you're gonna, what kind of company you have, but it's nice to have a lawyer look at the papers that you have, the contracts you have for employees, if there are legal documents that you have to send out and all, because I think it's nice to try to, keep it in the right way, because here in Norway we're quite, it's not so flexible when it comes to things like that, if it's something that matters in that way. So, but there are also insurance companies where you can get, like, you can have an insurance for the company, and then you also get free help from a lawyer to make any documentation or anything that you need to make sure that it's right. I think it's a good investment. And also when it comes to finance, I got an advice from my friend from, the first day I started. He just said, you know what, just get an accountant from today. But then I said, I don't have money. You want me to spend my savings for that? And I said, yeah, get an accountant. You know what, you're not going to regret, because it means that you're going to sleep at night, and you're not going to stress about the money. So I said, well, okay, I didn't earn anything yet. He said, but just get an accountant. I really advise you. And I'm so happy he gave me that advice, because that accountant has been with me now for 6 years, and it's so nice. Like, he does everything, so I don't need to worry about it. And it's because that's not my area of.
It's nice to have some breathing room and for you to focus on your area of strength, I'm sure. Well, in addition, we have one other question, and it's, you're off to such a great start here, and it's so impressive to see what you've been able to do by your own, organic marketing means, and by really tapping into the audience that you have curated. So have you considered offering different courses based on other audiences, for example, the general public, or for businesses? For people who are wanting to pursue a different type of education, or also for other stakeholders like diplomats or those in the academic community, or having a special needs for terms specific to their industry?
Well, yeah, of course, I have thought about it. I think it's just the problem sometimes for me is time.
Right.
Because I do run, like, my company is not that small anymore, and in addition to running the company, I try to keep going and keep podcasts going, all that. So but again, if someone asks me, like you asked me to come here today, I say yes. I'm here, but I haven't I haven't reached out to those different companies and myself. Basically because I don't have time, but I'm definitely open to doing different things. Yeah.
Okay. Well, not a question, but we have a comment. Thank you for the fabulous YouTube videos, especially the songs.
Oh.
That is from Lori Osmundson. So that is just a special shout for you. And from PWN Norway, we really would like to thank you on behalf of our organization for being our speaker this month. It's been a real pleasure getting to know you. It was nice to have a little bit of prep time with you before this session, understand your background, see how you were able to pivot, and definitely, understanding the full picture of what it means to be an entrepreneur in 2021. It's been really meaningful and impactful for everyone here. I don't see any other questions, so I just would like to move on to PWN Norway announcements. At this time, we now have a section of our program called Needs and Leads, and that's for anyone who's with us who might have a work need. Maybe you're looking for a position, or somebody else is, or if you have a lead, say your company is hiring, or you want to hire a freelance copywriter or something like that. The floor is open to any comments. And I am checking the chat. No hands raised. So I think that we will call it a wrap. And one last comment, actually, to you, Karense. Using some of your videos in my Norwegian lessons at the British school, the students love them. I think it's really nice to end on a high note and a compliment to our excellent speaker.
Thank you. That was nice.
Yes. So thank you so much. And to everyone who was able to join tonight, we apologize for the technical error. We are always looking to improve it. Hopefully a message will go out. We did have a few people who were unable to make it because of this, and we hope to avoid any issue like this in the future, but we appreciate you for sticking with us. And Karense, again, we appreciate you for being our speaker this month.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yes, of course. Okay. Well, thank you so much, and everyone have a wonderful evening.
You too.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Yes, thank you. Okay.
You too. Bye-bye.
Yeah,